Are you forcing or are you flowing? Are you forcing or are you flowing? What does that bring up for you when I say that? Because I know me in my life, I've been going through a big life pivot. And I know other people are too, especially because we just finished, at the time of this recording, we just finished the spring eclipse season. There were two eclipses in February and March. And that brings up a lot of divine redirection. There's this word, divine redirection. There's a higher intelligence that's guiding you on a path that's more aligned for what your soul needs or what your soul wants, for your highest soul growth, for your highest outcomes in this life, versus the path you were on. You're redirected from the path that's maybe your ego wants, or you think that's going to be it for you. So forcing would be like clinging on to the old path or the old energies that you don't necessarily want to let go of because there's probably a fear of the unknown, but there's this idea of flowing. And that's what I want to talk about. So let me share an example from my life. If you haven't heard my last episode, I talked a lot about my dream relocation and I gave a little life update after 6 months of living here. The first few months, I was like full steam ahead. I was like hitting the ground running after a very exhausting time, a very exhausting year leading up to moving, getting our house ready for sale, getting rid of like a ton of our belongings, driving across the entire country, coast to coast, across Canada, which is a huge landmass. And I realized after a while, I was so exhausted because I never gave myself enough time to recover. I had to rethink my whole business structure, my whole plan, and I had to really pause. Once you pause, you're able to receive more guidance, like guidance from your soul. You're really able to be redirected. So I suddenly felt like I had to pivot away from the thing I had already started promoting, but I allowed myself to redirect. When you get that inner calling of like, whoa, I need to pause or I need to pivot, it's such a strong inner feeling. Forcing would be me continuing down the path just because I was like, no, I already planned for this. But what if that goal is not right for you? What if that goal was planted in your mind by the ego who just wants validation or who just wants things to stay in your comfort zone instead of, oh, but this path, the redirected path, is going to guide me to my soul's highest outcomes, my soul's highest path. This is more of an allowing. Pause is a good idea to kind of pause on things, give yourself time to sense and to feel and to be guided. Ask yourself, what feels right for me? And really take time to sit with that. The wonderful thing about flow is it's the feminine path. The feminine path is being open to receive and being open to being guided. It's like you're releasing your grip on the steering wheel that you might have been white knuckling earlier, releasing your grip and saying, okay, I don't know. I'm not the smartest intelligence in the universe. I'm going to call in higher intelligence. I'm open to be guided. Are you gripping on to a goal, even if it's outdated? Even if it doesn't feel good for you anymore? Or are you open to this divine redirection? So, how can you be more open to flowing and being open to the guidance and the support of higher intelligence, of God, of source, of the divine, because that's going to lead you along this new path that you've been redirected to, right?